Okay students, we are now going to discuss about the geometrical meaning of dy by dx. I will show you more clearly this diagram later on. Let me first explain you what is this representing actually. This curve, that means along this one, is representing y is equal to fx. Now along the curve we have taken two points. First one is P, the coordinate of this point is x comma fx, that means this point, and another point Q, x plus h comma f bracket x plus h. Alright, that is Q. Alright, now from this point P we have dropped a perpendicular on the x axis that represents T, capital T, and from this point Q we have dropped a perpendicular QS on the x-axis, and another perpendicular is dropped from P on this straight line, that is PR. Alright, from the simple geometry of the figure, the x coordinate of this point Q is x comma h. So from here this one is the origin. From origin to this S, the total length will be x plus h, and from origin to the point T this length will be T. So if you have to get the length of this TS, that is TS will be equal to PR, it will be equal to x plus h minus x, that is equal to this one is h, which is what I have written over here, x plus h minus x. Now let me zoom in the diagram. Okay, I hope now it might be clear to all of you. Alright, so this length TS is x plus h minus x. I have already explained you. That means from here to here it is x plus h. From here to here it is x. So this length TS will be equal to x plus h minus x. And this TS and PR will be equal. So length of PR is x plus h minus x. Again coming to this length, that is QS. The y coordinate of this point Q is f bracket x plus h. So from here to here the total length will be f bracket x plus h on the y axis. From here if you drop a perpendicular on y axis, then this point will represent f bracket x plus h, and y coordinate of this point P is fx. That means from here if you drop a perpendicular on y axis, this point will represent f bracket x. So length of this part will be equal to f bracket x plus h minus fx, and that this length will be equal to this one. I hope till this point it is clear to all of you. Now if this angle is alpha, you can see I have written alpha over here. If this angle is alpha, then tan alpha is equal to perpendicular by base, and the perpendicular is fx plus h minus fx, and base we have calculated x plus h minus x, so it becomes only h. Now the calculation part is shown over here. You can see I have written tan alpha is equal to QR by PR. After calculation it comes out f bracket x plus h minus fx divided by h. Alright, now imagine if this point Q starts moving along the curve, means Q comes at this point. Just imagine that Q slightly comes down over here, then do you think the new diagram will be something like this? Alright, so what happens is the alpha which was this much earlier, now do you think it will reduce a little bit? And similarly this length of perpendicular and length of this base also will reduce. Again, if this point comes over here, then do you think again the angle will reduce and the length of perpendicular and length of this base also will reduce, and so on. That the meaning is, if this point Q keeps on moving towards the P, alright, then are you finding the angle alpha keeps on reducing, reducing, and ultimately when this Q coincides with this P, what will happen with this alpha? Do you think alpha will become 0? Means the Q point and P point will coincide with each other, and this length PQ, that was a chord earlier, will now become a very tiny straight line drawn at point P in this direction. Alright, and that will take the form of, if you extend this tiny straight line, then do you think it will form a tangent at point P? Alright, and that will make certain angle with the x-axis that we have represented as theta. Means as the Q changes its position and keeps on moving towards P, then alpha ultimately is changing into theta, and this slope, which was the length, this length perpendicular divided by base, which I have represented over here, that can now be taken as, you see I have written over here, this limit Q tends to P, that means Q is moving towards P, then the slope of the chord PQ is equal to, and also you see this length, that means this value h, as this point keeps on moving towards this one, then do you think this length, which was h, will keep on reducing and ultimately it will become 0. That is why I have written limit h tends to 0, and remaining things, that means this one remains as it is, fx plus h minus fx whole divided by h. I hope the point is clear. Now under this situation, when the Q tends to P and ultimately coincides with this P, then the tan alpha will change into tan theta, and this thing will become this. That means limit h tends to 0, fx plus h minus fx by h. This is the basic formula. Alright. This is also called as the finding dy by dx using the first principle. Alright, that this is the basic formula, means this tan theta which is written over here is representing the dy by dx of this function at point P. Once again I repeat, this tan theta is representing dy by dx at point P, and the basic formula for finding actually is limit h tends to 0, fx plus h minus fx divided by h. We will use this formula further and I will explain you how it is used. I hope the point is clear. Thank you.